Uh-oh. Ah, ah, ah. Uh-oh.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Home Impodcast time.
That's right. Binford Tool is proud to present the Home Improvement Podcast. My name is Adam, and all my co-host is Jordan. Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Adam. Much like Randy leaving after this episode, maybe I'm going to, based on the way you're treating me.
We're just getting to do it behind the scenes here, and then we just kind of started. Well, I don't want to air our dirty laundry, but I was just commenting to you before the show started about how generally, disinterested you seemed in my Galaxy Quest talk last week.
I didn't have that reaction when I listened back to it, but at the same...
Probably because you were only barely listening to it, like you're only barely listening to me the first time.
Well, the real problem... I knew it hurt your feelings because then you insulted my height as you relayed your feelings, so that's how I know that you were wounded.
If the worst thing I ever call you is little pal, then I think we're in pretty good shape.
Treat me like a 4-year-old.
Other than that, how's things going, Jordan?
It's going pretty good. Nothing too new to report besides another week of a Michael Jordan documentary. So
yeah, you want to talk about that?
I mean, yeah, we can briefly talk about it. It's funny. It's funny to hear some of the reaction from other people, like talking about the documentary, like Bill Simmons and other people talking about how younger people didn't know Michael Jordan was good.
That's bogus.
That's got to be a lie, right? I don't know.
He always, and I have a complicated relationship with Bill Simmons. Not that complicated. I just sometimes I find him annoying. Sometimes I don't. I've been listening for like 9 years or something. But like he base what he he makes blatant statements about like the younger generation just like based on his staff, which is like not that big and has had different lives than most of us, I would say. So like, yeah, he says that stuff all the time where it's like, I was texting Anthony, one of our mutual friends, and I was saying how like, I don't know really anyone our age that would definitively say that LeBron was better than Jordan. Like, I don't know who these people are, you know?
Yeah, I don't either. And he was always, I mean, growing up, I loved him. So I always thought he was the best and always been a defender there. But it's just funny. Maybe he's also basing it off like his kids or something who
maybe,
I don't know, maybe they're not interested in it at all. There's a whole generation after us, Adam, generation or two. So
that's true.
Maybe that's who he's targeting. But Michael Jordan's the best, and I've really enjoyed the first 4 episodes of this documentary series.
Yeah,
and,
likewise. It's nice to. It's been I probably would have watched it either way, but I find that I'm much more excited about it without sports in my life, so just kind of having something to look forward to, and I like they moved it up and stuff for specifically for the quarantine, and I've enjoyed like the back-to-back blocks of it, so even with the commercials and stuff, you feel like you're getting quite a bit of content on a Sunday night. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it as well. A question I wanted to pose to you: can you think of any times they referenced Michael Jordan on Home Improvement? I can think of Shaq, Isaiah, Grant Hill.
I feel like there's a couple times early on where they're talking about like the Pistons versus the Bulls, but I don't think they use his name. But that's obviously why those games matter,
Right. Yeah, it just seems weird that they would never have said it once. But
it's funny. I remember growing up, there were like certain video games where Michael Jordan couldn't appear in them. So maybe it's one of those types of things where it's like
that's a good point.
Get likeness approval or something from him.
That is funny. You know what? I never really connected the dots, but I loved like NBA Live or whatever. Like there was an NBA game I played in like 1997, and like they just had like number 23. It was like 99, and you knew it was Michael Jordan, but they couldn't say it.
They couldn't say it. Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, I guess that's the whole Jordan brand like separation from the league stuff. But great doc. Enjoying it.
Back-to-back doc opening talk for us.
Well, this is a big doc cast. I hope you noticed how genuinely interested I was in what you were saying about the doc and how engaged I was in my response.
I think it's because I've actually seen this one and you've seen this one, whereas I still haven't seen the Galaxy Quest one.
Well, I think carve out 2 hours on Sunday, right before the Michael Jordan docs.
It's going to be a long 4-hour block.
4 hours of docs.
I don't think you're actually allowed to do that when you have kids anymore. So
I guess I wouldn't know. She doesn't like docs, is that what you're saying?
No, actually, she's amazing. And are we talking about the wife or the both of them are amazing, but Olivia definitely is not going to care about the doc at all. I remember the first episode came on, and I was trying to get her hyped up. I was like, "Oh, it's Michael Jordan," and she did not care at all. She's like, "I don't like it." It's one of the things she likes to say right now.
So she's the kind of person Bill Simmons is talking about, right? A LeBron truther.
I don't know if she likes LeBron or what. She does know how to dunk on her little tyke soup, though.
Yeah, she likes the best player on the Orlando Magic, so is that like...
Aaron Gordon?
Aaron Gordon, yeah. Cool. Fun.
Evan Fournier?
Maybe in France he's big. Did you want me to talk about my dream?
Oh, man. I told Andrea about this yesterday, and she wanted to hear it, so I'm going to bring her in right now. No.
Really?
No.
I was going to say, God, too much pressure.
No, but I'm definitely telling her, so go ahead and tell me and our hundreds of listeners.
It's... add a 0 to that. It's not going to take very long. Okay, basically, it was just like, I had a dream... And I've had dreams about home improvement before. I'm pretty sure, like, I've even talked about it on the podcast. And like I said to you, it always makes me feel, like, kind of depressed that I put so much, like, stock into home improvement and I let it, like, stress me out and create, like, dreams and lingering thoughts. But, yeah, I dreamed that, like, I was watching Home Improvement for the podcast and I came upon an episode and all of a sudden I realized that John F. Kennedy was a guest star.
Oh.
And I was surprised because obviously he died, and I thought
you were very surprised.
I thought, how does this work? Does this mean so I guess he didn't die?
There was a lot of ramifications to it, huh?
Yeah, so I was just starting to sort of consider the implications of the Dallas stuff and the book depository and how strange it was that I had put a lot of thought into home improvement and know more about it than a lot of people, and I didn't know about this secret John F. Kennedy episode. And let me just say that I did watch a little bit of the episode in my dream, and it was like John F. Kennedy and Jill kind of in the kitchen just talking.
Oh, wow. And it turned into an Ian situation real fast.
I think it was probably heading there, yeah, and who could blame her? I mean, if she thinks Wolpat's a hunk, then, imagine JFK. So, yeah, that was it. It was stupid, as dreams are. But I'm glad I was able to remember it. So.
Wow, I'm glad you were too. And we talked about Bill Simmons in the opening. We better get him on the horn and tell him that JFK is still alive.
He'll be very interested in that.
He certainly will. We're very interested in this episode, though. Don't you think? Yeah, this is an interesting episode in season 8. We're talking episode 178, Adios. Yeah, this one's written by John Vandergriff. Last did Believe It or Not, which apparently I'm talking about all the time today because we just recorded a video about this. Aired September 29th, 1998. And, of course, this is the episode where JTT is going to depart. So,
wow. Do you want to do the background stuff now or you want to do it later?
Let's do it at the end after we go through. We had a long opening here. So, I've got, I told you I only had 2 alternative titles and I had to come up with one real quick. And, boy, did I not deliver.
Okay, I have 5. You know what that means.
Shower time with Adam. He's thinking all home improvement.
I'll start. Randy goes rainforest.
I think that's better than mine. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So gong, Randy.
Okay, gong. You
ever think those things could be combined?
I didn't know they could. I also took to find the gong connection. I got there, though. All right. The fix is in. Tim tries to fix the situation.
Yeah, okay.
It's not... Yeah, it's fine. I don't know.
I don't know what this was in reference to. My other alternative title here. So maybe you can help me pull it out, or maybe I just made the most generic home improvement title ever.
Okay.
Mixed emotions.
Mixed emotions.
Oh, I think I kind of know now. They were in the kitchen mixing some stuff together when Tim and Randy are talking.
When you explain it, it's quite good.
Wow, it took a while to get there, though.
All right. This one's doesn't really make sense. You're going to have to think about it. Saving the family tree.
Okay.
He's going to Costa Rica.
Yeah, going to Costa Rica. I didn't really have to think about that. When you
Okay,
said that,
good.
I thought I had to think more, and so I thought it was too obvious.
This might be a case of you being smarter than I think.
Another insult. Great.
You're short and stupid.
Thank goodness we're getting to the end of this series. All right. My last one, not even a word, the second word. Home deprovement. Because Randy's
getting
going.
worse?
Yeah, Randy's leaving, so it can't get better.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, you better be nice to me now.
2 more. Mark's secret tapes.
Whoa.
I don't even want to know what Mark's doing with those tapes he's making. Okay, and last and least, wait, am I supposed to go to Costa?
Oh my gosh. You're right. That is the worst. Probably could have just lopped that one off, bud. Or should I say little pal?
LP. It was the last one I came up with, which I believe is telling. Another thing I want to reference here early on in the show. This is the first time in our entire podcast run that I've taken notes on my computer as opposed to my journal.
Whoa. What made you do that?
Couldn't find a pen.
Things are tough in quarantine times. No pens available anywhere. Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's it. All right, let's get into it.
All right, we're going to open on Tool Time, and we have a theme song lyric writing contest. After 7 seasons of... Well,
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how many seasons of Home Improvement or Tool Time they've been doing. They're going to get some lyrics, and so they have a contest with Detroit's finest songwriters all vying for the spot. What a contest. Loud contest.
I was going to say, very timely with our recent, or our upcoming video on the evolution of the theme song. I thought this was a coincidence.
By the time...
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
All right, it's coming out in 2 days from now, after this is released.
Wow,
So.
that's crazy.
All right, so yeah, it's going to be a live contest. They have a gong that they're going to hit, and if Tim hits that gong, you are gone. That's not a good thing. They bring out Wade first. He's a carpet installer. He looks a little bit like...
I got a bio on Wade.
Okay, give the bio.
All right, so Wade is played by Dennis Cockrum, which is an unfortunate name. He did study at Eastern Michigan University. Best known for Gangster Squad, Hail Caesar, Shameless. 114 credits to his name. I couldn't place him at first, but I knew him from something. He plays Pal in Uncle Buck. Now, I don't know how well you know Uncle Buck, but Pal is the guy that's at the bowling alley with John Candy, who is doing the thing with the toothpick in his mouth where he's, like, rotating it in his mouth without using his hands. It's pretty crazy. You ever seen that?
No, I have not. I know you talked about it when we talked about Farewell to John Candy.
You should,
I think I would like it.
You should watch Uncle Buck. It's, I was going to say, could you associate it with a holiday? You can watch it anytime, but you're going to want to put that on your watch list. It's a fun one, and so yeah, that's really the whole bio. But he a lot of work for this guy, for sure.
Okay. When he first came out, I thought he looked a little bit like the guy who's in like the Ernest Goes to Whatever movies.
Oh, Jim Varney?
Yeah, you think he looks a little bit like him?
Got a little bit of Jim Varney. I mean,
they're at least cousins.
Jim Varney is probably more handsome than Dennis Cockrum, if I'm being honest.
Better name, too.
I mean, for sure. Although, Jim Varney died, so he's got that against him. So
That is trouble.
That is trouble.
Speaking of trouble, it starts on the show because Tim gongs and Wade's out. So it didn't last very long. I don't remember exactly what type of music he was singing, but it didn't go over real well.
Banjo, and he's also, like, doing a thing where he's, like, bringing his knees together for noise.
Some knee percussion.
Kind of liked it.
Yeah, it was impressive. Later, the Flannels come out, and they are Al lookalikes, kind of a Dapper Dan sort of vibe, but look like Al. And they're going to sing Al Cappella. They make that joke, ha ha ha. Yeah. They hear them out, so I guess everybody likes them enough, and they go on to the semifinals. And then we learn that they, like, don't know how to talk, and they just kind of sing everything back to them. It's kind of weird. They almost lose their chance to go to the semifinals, so...
They blew it. Here's the thing about the Flannels. It's not a bad version, but it's just not right for the Tool Time audience, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Neither does
I can't wait for you to tackle this.
The next one is a rap group called LL Tool J, and they also do not fit the Tool Time audience.
And Grandmaster Bash.
Oh, sorry. How could I forget? They turn, inexplicably, it turns into like a 90s hip-hop video. And not the normal, just Tool Time type camera. They've got like the camera's moving left and right, and they're like right in the camera's face. And Tim gongs after they dissed him a few too many times, so they're definitely not making it to the semifinals.
Yeah. When they had a rap group coming out, I was pretty concerned.
It went better than it could have, I felt like.
I guess, yeah. Tim's rap, when he eliminates them, he says, "You dissed the boss, that means you lost." I could have done without Tim rapping, I guess.
He was just rhyming, really. I don't know that he rapped.
All right, well, yeah, you defend him. You want to be on that side of things, by all means. Yeah, it's not a lot of diversity in Home Improvement, so I guess give him that. But
there you go.
It was something.
It was something. That's the end of the opening scene. It's a long opening scene, and everything else is going to be focused on the main plot here.
I kind of liked it. I thought it was a good idea for an opening scene. It's something they haven't done before, so.
Yeah, and it could have been worse, I guess, is what I would say.
Oh, yeah. All right. Gazebo. Randy and Lauren counting down until she leaves for Costa Rica. They kiss. But,
a lot.
Yeah, but Randy keeps will stop kissing so that he can complain about her leaving, which is, come on, Randy. Just
he's not a very intelligent boy in this moment.
No. She's going on a 1 year, I don't know, I wrote down rainforest assistantship. Unclear what it is exactly.
A conservation program.
Okay. A lot of kissing. Tim and Jill are watching through the window like a couple of sickos.
They're a bit concerned.
Yeah. Inside the house, Jill reveals that she's glad Randy didn't get in. Tim is kind of indifferent, I guess. Randy enters, and Tim tries to give him advice about Lauren leaving because Randy's kind of bummed out and stuff. And the scene ends by Tim saying that the world favors women, which is, of course, a joke. I hope that it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Yeah, okay.
We do learn, too, that this was Randy's idea in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Tough. Yeah, there's not much more to that. Randy does promise to stay faithful to Lauren while she's away, which I think is just kind of funny. This little 16-year-old.
That's a real high school thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right, later, the boys. All the boys together. Randy's putting together a scrapbook for Lauren. He's got some real weird things that he's kept. So he's got
This is a serial killer thing, kind of.
He kept pasta from their first date, which is only interesting because we were on that first date, if you recall, all those many years ago.
Yes, we were watching from behind a large plant. You and I, undercover, with devices in our ears feeding him lines.
Yep, just like every good first kid.
A la First Kid, your favorite movie.
Listen to Patreon to see how much I truly like it. All right, she's gonna take this giant. She's gonna take this giant thing to Costa Rica. I don't think so.
No, he's mailing it. He says he's gonna mail it, and I wrote, "What are you, rich? It's gonna cost a lot to ship that to Costa Rica in 1998. It's like $1,000."
I mean, so Andrea has a half sister who lives in Costa Rica, and sometimes we'll try to ship stuff. Yeah, what a brag. We try to ship stuff to the niece, and yeah, it's not cheap at all. So,
did you like Mark's? Okay, so Randy puts the pasta.
I don't like anything Mark does. Okay.
Okay, but I think we might have one of the better Mark jokes here, where he says it's for my first date where we got pasta, and Mark says, "Good thing you guys didn't get fish."
Oh.
I mean, for Mark, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't write that line or say it normally, but he does say it in the moment. Phone rings. This is when everything changes.
The show tilts on its axis.
Randy is in the program. Somebody dropped out. Tim and Jill come in for the news. He's going to leave in a couple days, basically. And they are very fake excited for him. He leaves and they chat about their real feelings. And they're like, how do we stop him, basically? Jill says, no, we have to let him go. He has his heart set on it. And there's a joke here about he wanted a pony and they never gave him the pony. They said, well, let's just give him the pony, but he'd be a horse now. So there's that.
Is that the joke, or is that your addition to the joke? The horse thing.
You think I made that joke up?
Did you add the horse part? 'Cause I don't remember the horse part.
It definitely, that was not me. I did not
Okay.
think that up. I am
That
not.
doesn't seem like your kind of humor.
That's definitely a Vandergrift joint right there.
Yeah, you're right. That screams Vandergriff. All right.
Wait, before we get started.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I'm waiting.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, we need to talk about what?
I've heard you say that a couple times today. Is all wondering.
I'm hungry. I'm real hungry. I'm thirsty too. And speaking of something good to drink, we should talk about our sponsor, Fruit of the Bean Coffee.
Okay.
All right.
Into it.
You're with me so far. Mm-hmm. We've talked about all their different coffee flavors, and from fresh roasted organic Peru decaf to fresh roasted Kenyan coffee, Fruit of the Bean Coffee has it all. And they're not going to roast those beans until after it's ordered. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, thank goodness. Every order helps an orphan or those affected by human trafficking. And you know what? We have a special promo code this time.
Wow. All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, Fruit of the Bean Coffee is treating us right. So, if you're a home improvement listener and you enter the promo code Jordan, all lowercase, JORDAN.
Oh, you narcissist.
I didn't. Trust me, I did not come up with the promo code name. But go to fruitofthebeancoffee.com, use the promo code Jordan, and you get free standard shipping on your order. That's pretty good. Generous, I would say.
I might have to try that. Yeah.
All right, so that's fruitofthebeancoffee.com, promo code Jordan, JORDAN, all lowercase. Drink coffee, do good.
I love it. All right, back to the show.
Yeah, Randy, Brad,
all right,
Adam.
Bedroom, packing. I mean, this is coming together fast. Brad's line here is basically like, you must be looking forward to boning Lauren down in Costa Rica. I mean, like, that's kind of what he's saying.
Yeah, pretty much. All the alone time.
And then Randy's like, no, it's not like that. No privacy. It's like, okay, come on, Randy. You're a buzzkill. Your brother's trying to bond with you. Brad's kind of sad because he's going to, a year from now, he'll be going to college. Randy will be coming back, and it's kind of like they missed their chance to do all the things they wanted to do together. Guess that's life, and that's the way it goes. They talk about some things that I don't remember exactly what they say they were going to do, but they do agree that they're going to miss torturing Mark together, which checks out.
I think they were talking about, like, having parties and stuff, and Randy's like, yeah, that's not really me. And then Brad says, well, we could have at least tortured Mark together.
Yeah.
Just like the old times. Remember when Mark was so young and they used to just, I don't know, throw him out windows or something?
Yeah, now they just, like, verbally abuse him, which is fun in a different way.
Different kind of abuse.
Yeah. Tim comes in. We get some weird, like, jokes about novelty products and, like, buying American that the audience is seemingly kind of unsure of. I don't know if you caught that, but, like, there's quite a few laugh lines here, and they're kind of missing the punch on these, which is always kind of funny when that happens.
Yeah, so they actually like the Buy American lines, and they're written to be laugh lines, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe that's probably actually what it is.
Yeah, is that what's going on?
This is hitting a little too close to home, okay? Don't joke about buying American gag gifts, okay? Brad leaves, and this is kind of a confusing scene for me. Brad leaves. Tim and Randy kind of have a heart-to-heart here. Tim talks to Randy about, well, we mentioned earlier, Jill's having a lot of trouble with it, and so on and so forth. So Tim says, your mom's having trouble with this. She's thinking it's happening fast. She's going to miss you, so on and so forth. Randy says that it's the most stable country in Central America. Tim says, yeah, your mom's kind of worried. Randy gets mad, and Jill comes in with a mosquito hat, and now Randy's not going. I don't know. It's weird. Things happen really fast, and it didn't quite add up for me.
Maybe this is one reason you write all your notes on paper, because I think you missed some stuff.
Okay, go ahead. Fill me in.
So we have to remember that last time we saw Jill talking about this, she said we should let him go, right?
Yeah. Right.
So we come to this scene, and Tim is kind of singing a different tune right here, trying to basically point Randy in one direction. And where Randy gets really upset is Tim basically gives him the choice. You're either going to drive your mom crazy because she's worried about you, worried sick, or you miss out on the opportunity of the lifetime. So that's kind of the choice where Randy gets really upset, because it's like either way he's screwed. And then Jill comes in with the mosquito-proof hat.
I guess I felt like he just gave up too easy. I don't know. Like his dad says. Oh, sorry, you cut out. Yeah, I was just saying that. I don't know. I felt like he kind of gave up pretty fast. Like Tim gives him this ultimatum, and then he's like, "Well, I guess I'm not gonna go." I don't know. It seemed kind of strange to me.
Yeah, I think it was basically like pick your mom or pick this, and so Randy felt like he had no choice.
Like if I stayed home and didn't do all the things my mom wanted me to do, like I'd still be living on Richfield Road. So I guess like
well, no, you'd be at Houghton Lake, I think.
That's true. I would have moved them to Houghton Lake, and I'd be upstairs up there. But like I don't know, maybe I just didn't buy that a ton, but that's all right. Commercial break. It's a good commercial. You know, it comes at a good time. Jill is frustrated with Tim. She wants clarity. She doesn't really understand what happened. Tim said, basically Tim tried to fix a situation that she didn't ask him to fix, and now Jill's mad at Tim. Randy is mad at his mom and his dad, and everybody's just mad at everybody else. It's like, what are we at in Kernville again?
We're mad about Tim.
Mad about Tim. Yeah, that's true. All right, Jordan. Next scene.
Yeah. Later we got Tim talking to Wilson, and he's roasting coffee beans.
I know. Are they the ones that we just talked about?
I think they might be. So we should play a clip.
Let's play a clip.
Hi ho, good neighbor.
It's all the smoke.
I'm roasting Joe.
Well, I don't hear any screams. He's obviously taking it like a man.
No, in honor of Randy going to Costa Rica, I'm roasting coffee beans.
Randy's not going.
Why not?
Because I told him Jill didn't want him to go.
So the trip is off just like that? Jill must be very upset about him going.
The only reason I told him that is because Jill was worried about his health and safety. I mean, he's not going to be home for Thanksgiving. We won't see him at Christmas. He won't be here when I finish the hot rod.
Oh.
He's going to celebrate a birthday down there, If we want party pictures, I'll have to pick up a copy of National Geographic.
Well, I'm still back at
Huh?
Tim, have you ever heard of a play?
No plays, no ballets, no chamber music, none of that. Just give it to me straight.
I'm talking about the Shakespearean comedy As You Like It. Now, in this play, the young Rosalind is uncomfortable expressing her feelings for the nobleman Orlando. The only way she can speak her mind is by dressing up as a man, the shepherd Ganymede.
Okay, what does a cross-dressing sheep lover have to do with me?
Well, I suspect just as Rosalind masqueraded as Ganymede, perhaps you were masquerading as Jill.
Once I tried on a pump. It's Halloween, for God's sake.
No, I'm talking about masquerading your feelings. I mean, is Jill really the one who'll miss sharing the hot rod with Randy?
Of course, she's the one. Are you suggesting I stopped him from going because of my feelings?
Well, that answer can only come from the masquerader.
All right. I tried on the pantyhose, too.
So Tim shares the news about the trip being off, and Wilson shares some quotes from As You Like It. There's sometimes people have trouble sharing thoughts directly, and he thinks that's what Tim is doing here. He talks about Tim masquerading as Jill, or his feelings being masqueraded as Jill's feelings. And, Wilson, in the Wilsometer, I think
it's pretty high, right?
I think it kind of broke through the thermometer at this point, because he's right on target, and that's really all there is to this scene, but Tim recognizes what he's done wrong.
It's a good scene, and for once, I think the advice is pretty sound, and Wilson's awareness of the situation seems pretty apt. A few too many cross-dressing jokes, which is to say there are some. Lean on that pretty heavily.
There's a few episodes where that comes into play, and they do it here again. But later we have Tim and Jill, no cross-dressing involved.
No. So inside later, Jill enters. Tim kind of admits that he was projecting onto Jill. she understands it from like a psychological perspective, seemingly. I don't know.
This is in her wheelhouse, the projecting language, you know?
That's true. She does talk about this all the time.
Yep.
And the primitive nature of man and woman. Hunter-gatherers.
Which is really, like, you would think that would be a Tim line, honestly.
Yeah, I know. Randy comes in and Jill's like, hey, you can go to Costa Rica. And he's like, why?
What happened?
says-
And this is where mixed emotions happen.
Wow. She says, talk to your dad. This is a pretty good scene. I guess we probably don't need to play 2 clips, but I would say that that this would be in running for a clip, but I guess I can just stumble through it instead.
We take out the Wilson clip and just put this in.
No, I mean, I don't know which one's better, which one's worse. Maybe we'll play a clip the last time Randy appears in the show in like 6 weeks or something. Include that one. So Tim, he's trying to find the words to express himself, and he's cooking at the same time. And he asks Randy to help him chop, and they kind of talk through things as they're cooking. And Tim is sort of talking around the situation. And finally, we get to the meat and potatoes. I'm going to get arrested for that joke.
I was going to say, arrested for the joke or arrested for playing too many clips?
I guess so. I'm going to wait for it to kind of say. He says, damn it, I'm going to miss you. We return to the conversation he had with Brad earlier, Randy had with Brad, where they didn't get a chance to do all the things they wanted, which I guess you always feel that way when someone's leaving or whatever. Never talked about girls, didn't work on the hot rod, etc., etc. But it's going to have to be good enough. Randy reveals that he's a little scared, doesn't know what he's in for. Weird line read. He says, don't know what I'm getting in for. That's not how you'd say that.
Getting into?
Yeah, but he didn't say that. He said getting in for. I don't know. It's always weird when they
It's
keep that
either
stuff in.
what I'm in for or getting into.
Yeah,
and they combine
I know.
them. That's maybe, just authentic acting by JTT. He's just so nervous.
Maybe he was just so sick of doing the show that he's like, I won't do another take. And then they hug Jordan. It's a good scene. It's heartfelt.
It's very heartfelt.
We'll miss him.
We talked about a couple weeks ago, we had our YouTube video on most emotional moments. This probably would have made it on that list.
This easily would have. I would have bumped the thing with Mark I included.
Thank goodness. At the airport, more emotions and final goodbyes. Mark has some paparazzi photos. You talk about Tim and Jill doing a little bit of spying on Lauren earlier, but Mark is far more gross because he took pictures and then printed them. So,
Wait. I thought Mark made a video of Randy and Lauren kissing.
that's what I'm talking about.
You said paparazzi photos and he
Oh,
printed
I thought
them.
they were pictures.
No, it's a video. He said, here's a videotape I made of you and Lauren kissing.
It doesn't make it any less gross.
It's more gross.
Yeah, so
Mark's secret tapes.
okay, it was a tape. My bad.
I mean, like, let's just pause on that for a second.
Why? Why should
Well,
we?
Why are they including that? What are you doing?
They're just trying to make Mark real weird.
You're losing Randy, and you want us to get on board with this guy? This criminal?
Yeah, it is disgusting.
Alright, whatever.
I
Keep
was gonna
going,
say
sir.
there's a nice heartfelt moment between Brad and him, but really Mark, not so much. I mean,
They're not close. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. You can act like you're close or whatever, and that you're gonna, like, he might miss him, like, in the abstract, but they're not friends.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess
How many
so.
times have we seen them do things together?
They played a lot of video games.
They did that, like, 2 episodes after.
Well, hugs for the brothers, and
I would argue none of the brothers are actually that close.
I would say Randy and Brad are much closer.
Yeah.
I felt like growing
closer.
up they did a lot more together, and then eventually they're at the same paper. We just don't necessarily see it on screen as much as I think it would be true.
Yeah, that's
But-
fair.
Jill and Tim, their gift is a tape recorder full of advice and other things. Mind you, this was before cell phones.
Okay, yeah, I wondered about that. And, early internet as well, so it's just like all of your FaceTime and Zoom and WhatsApp. That's going to be a lot harder because we just didn't have the technology. So we're talking about writing letters. Mind you... Yeah, I love WhatsApp. Is that it? Sorry.
Yeah, that's the final part of the scene here. So unless you have any
It's
other
pretty
comments.
sad. It's like it just kind of like, and this is kind of what as I saw this, I remembered thinking even when I watched Home Improvement in like 1998 with my parents, how like things get like pretty sad. Like it's just kind of like he's gone, and then we're at the airport, and we're all just kind of looking at each other, and it's just like, well, guess that's it.
It kind of was out with a whimper at the end there.
Yeah, you want to have them like at least like look. I don't know. They could have done something to maybe give us more a sense of confidence or whatever, but instead it was just kind of like weepy and like I don't know. I would have liked like him looking back one final time, or like the parents saying like we raised a good one. Cliche stuff like that would have gone a long ways. But before we roll credits fade to black, we get a couple of good JTT bloops, which
Some
I
outtakes
appreciated.
from his younger years and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that was their nod to it, but it wasn't actually in the script type of
that's
thing.
not. Yeah, and we'll talk in maybe a couple minutes about like what happened or maybe how the feelings were on set or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you would have liked something a little bit nicer. But he will be back, so I guess. But I'm not sure that episode will be quite as like definitive as this one. So in any case, roll credits fade to black. Wait, am I supposed to go to Costa? Jordan heading down to Castle's Corner, right?
Yeah, it's sad. This is a
I
sad
suppose.
jaunt.
It is sad. It was pretty sad, and yeah, I mean the show's so much worse off for him being gone. But let's talk just about this episode specifically. What do you think?
This episode, I was fine with it. I didn't feel bored really by any moments. It just kind of moved. It was one of those episodes that I couldn't believe was already over. Tim projecting his feelings, not being able to share his feelings, I think is something we've dealt with a couple times in the series, but it's different with his kids. So that seeing that here, I thought was authentic and fine. The moment at the end where they're kind of cooking together and sharing those moments, I thought that was pretty touching. And even the moments that he had with Brad earlier on in the episode, I thought were pretty good too. Mark with the tapes, weird, low, strange. But other than that, I don't really have a lot of lows on it. I'm just sad that JTT is gone.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I liked it. Yeah, I mean it's a bummer for sure. I remember it being a bummer in the moment when it happened. Highs, yeah, I think it's like a good emotional episode. I think characters get decent moments together. Like Randy and Brad are pretty good a couple times. Tim and Randy. Maybe Patricia Richardson could have used the scene with just her and Randy. That would have maybe been nice, but I guess you can only do that so many times. I liked the opening segment pretty well, the Tool Time theme song. I think that's a good idea. I don't know, the a cappella stuff maybe goes a little far, and the rap group is, I don't know, of the era. It's interesting, but I thought that was kind of good. Other than that, yeah, it's emotional. The ending is sort of bleak, but on the whole, yeah, it flew by, and yeah, it's a bummer to see him go. But I thought this was a pretty good episode and a decent send off for him. So, just kidding.
Let's move on to social media, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to. Reach out to us at all of the usual places. As we talked about, we just released a YouTube video that was the sexiest moments in home improvement history. So go to YouTube, subscribe, like the video, and get ready for new videos such as analyzing every single iteration of the theme song. And we also talk about that time that Home Improvement ripped off X-Files. So we've got a lot more ideas in the can that are coming. So subscribe to YouTube for more of that. I think we're stuck at 49 reviews still on reviews, or on iTunes, Apple Podcast reviews. So let's get to 50.
I mean, I don't even. I'm done asking. So
all right. Well, maybe we can get there. Adam, what are you doing on Twitter?
a couple polls. After sort of the tough start to season 8, Whitewater, I asked the question: are we going to hate season 8 of Home Improvement? 37 total votes. 29.7% said yes. 70.3% said no.
Well, that's uplifting.
Some responses. Sarah Shortstuff, half and half. Some episodes, some good episodes, but there are quite a few filler episodes. My favorite episode of the show is later in season 8, but that's me. I'd like to hear what that one is. Ben Pope, it's not the same with no Randy, but reasonably funny. Stephanie, my main complaint is no Jonathan. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that is optimistic. Other poll is... let me find it. You ever been whitewater rafting? 31 total votes. Generous voting this week. That's not a very good one.
People don't have enough to do.
It's true. 38.7% said yes, 61.3% said no. So a third of our listeners have been whitewater rafting. That seems high.
Does that surprise you? I'm not sure how to feel about that.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It seems
I don't really have a
interesting.
barometer here, but sure, that's interesting.
Other than that, Jordan's talking about the YouTube stuff a fair amount.
And Adam is sick of it already.
I'm okay. It's fine. It seems necessary, a necessary evil. I guess that's it.
All right.
Not a ton going on. I'm not doing a ton on Twitter these days. I mean, maybe Zachary Ty Bryant's going to the podcast next week. We'll see. He said he was.
Don't get people's hopes up for that. Do you want to talk a little bit about JTT's departure before we talk about the next episode?
Yeah, let's do it. I can talk about it in the abstract because I've read a few articles and just based on things we've kind of picked up over time. You have a specific article that you've got some information from?
Sure.
I'll let you start. Go ahead.
Yeah, this article comes from looper.com. And well, hey, Looper's got a big YouTube presence, I'll tell you that.
Right.
But they take some quotes from their own stuff, but also from people. So in a 2013 interview with People, he explained why he stepped away. You know, his quote was, "I'd been going nonstop since I was 8. I wanted to go to school, travel, and have a bit of a break." Not really a big surprise there. Patricia Richardson, friend of the podcast, of course, she commented on his absence in an interview during the final season. "It's a pretty sore spot around here. I think there were a lot of bad feelings all along. I don't think it's a good idea that he didn't show up to the end." You know, but she also said, "I don't always think he got the best advice." So some shots there.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I think that his departure is understandable and so on. I think that something I've come across in a couple different articles is that like he said that he wanted to like slow down and take a break, but then he went and like filmed a movie or two like immediately after, which I know based on some things I've read, and this is all like we have no idea actually. Like this is just we can only speculate, but I think that kind of rubbed Tim the wrong way.
Yeah, there's a quote in this article specifically to
something?
that. Yeah, he just says, Tim says, "He was a little miffed at me. I was confused at why he didn't want to go the whole year. He said he was going to school, but then did some films. Did he want to do films? Did he want to do school?" I think Tim just wanted, like, some consistency, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's hard. You got to believe there was some bad blood for him not to show up for that finale. I mean, like, that is really indicative of sort of a faulty, just a bad relationship or bad blood, because he comes back for Christmas and you think like, okay, if he's coming back for Christmas, then like he'll want to be at the finale. It's been they've done 200 episodes, everybody's sad, everybody's crying, like there must have been bad feelings, or as this article posits, bad advice for him not to come back for that. I suspect when we watch it, we'll definitely wish he was there. And I know people in the moment wished he would have been there as well. But I mean, you can't blame somebody for wanting to step away from the spotlight. And he had so much spotlight, more than other people on the show.
Right.
So wanting to like go to school and stuff.
At a young age is always, we see how that works out for a lot of people. So
for sure, yeah. And I mean, he got an education and so on. But yeah, it's a tough one. And I remember it was shocking in the moment and a big deal. And I think something maybe we should try to do for the Christmas episode, his last actual episode, is maybe we'll kick off the show by just talking about a couple of our favorite Randy moments or something. That'll give us 6 weeks or so to prepare for that. But I thought that might be a good idea for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'd be funny if you said no.
No, I don't want to talk about Randy ever again.
Oh, yeah, no. Other than that, though, yeah, I mean, I don't think there is much more information. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, you talked about the bad blood. He does, go on Last Man Standing and make an appearance there, so maybe some of that's been repaired. But I
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and when we talked to Patricia Richardson, she had mentioned that she's still kind of in touch with him. So, I don't know. Time heals all wounds, possibly, but the film, he'll never be on the film of the last season finale. So, but next week, we're going to be back next week. First episode post Randy, and we're going to be covering All in the Family.
These episodes are going to be tough, man. I have a feeling I have a feeling we're really going to be feeling it next week, but I'll try to be optimistic until then.
All right. Well, we'll do our best regardless, because you and I, we can carry a show by ourselves. We don't even need Home Improvement.
Yeah, it's going to really be fun to watch the show rely more on Mark and get more of his pervert videotapes and film career.
I think we'll
also,
be
we never talked about this. He's just like not goth in season 8.
Right. Yeah, it just kind of disappeared.
Yeah. I mean, fine, but
yeah, what happened over the summer? Maybe they'll address it next episode.
I sincerely hope so. Well, Jordan, thank you for joining me. Listeners, thank you for listening. And I guess I should say take care.
Take care, everybody.